Girl, don't let that man come over there tonight at 9 o'clock after them kids go to bed for $40. Okay? Listen, some judges just ruled and said that contingencies will be used for the SNAP benefits, okay?
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovely. I came across this stitch summary for you and I thought to share. Where people are reacting to the fact that the government has ordered that the Foodstamp benefit should be paid during the holidays, that they don't actually care about the government shutdown and all of that. The thing is that, is this present administration going to succumb to this order? Anyways, let's dive into it, and we are just going to come back to talk about it. But before then, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please leave your thought in the comment section of what you think, and let's dive into it.
Woo! Okay, y'all. So, update on the SNAP benefits, all right? So, 2 federal judges have now blocked Donald Trump from... So, for those of y'all who were speculating about him waiting to the last minute, 2 federal judges, they blocked Donald Trump from being able to stop the SNAP benefits from depositing tomorrow. What does that mean? That means that we get our stamps, y'all. The stamps is coming through. You understand me? The stamps is coming through. 2 federal judges, they blocked him from being able to ensure that 40-something million Americans cannot get those SNAP benefits. They blocked them. In addition to that, the Republican Party has been siding more with in Senate. They've been siding more with the Democrats rather than him. He's been having a lot of issues with his own party turning on him when it comes to certain issues that have been arising and certain bills that need to be passed. So in a lot of cases over the past 24 to 48 hours, we have seen twice where they have switched sides and gone towards the Democrats rather than the Republicans. Now, y'all remember, the food scarcity and everything that's going on with the SNAP benefits was always intended to be used as a token, if you will, to try and pressure the Democrats into folding. But it ended up backfiring on Donald Trump and MAGA in the Republican Party, because the Democrats held out. The Democrats held out and said, no. So it looks like it is backfiring on the entire Republican Party. I'm not sure what else is going to be overturned, but I know for certain that if you are among the Americans that are expecting some SNAP benefits on the 1st, they had this plan for a minute, because there was a few states that reached out to me and sent me screenshots of their expected payments. Okay. Arizona has just now joined in 2 days ago. So if you live in the state of Arizona, expect yours to be on time, but a little bit later in the day, possibly even 24 hours later than it normally would come, only because obviously they were among the later to join in on the lawsuit. It was more than 40 states that all signed up to sue Donald Trump and the entire Trump administration. Folks, this is the kind of unity we have been begging for, that we have been asking them to do, that we expected them to have from the jump, and we're finally getting it. So I wanted to let y'all know, expect them stamps, bitch. They coming in.
11th hour, a federal judge ruled the Trump administration must continue to fund SNAP benefits in light of the government shutdown for the month of November. As we head into day 31 of the government shutdown, this is obviously not a big win for the Trump administration, as they were using SNAP benefits as leverage to try and force the Democrats to the table to vote on the CR. While this is good news, it's not exactly clear on when these food stamps would actually reach the roughly 42 million people who rely on them. And also, it is unclear whether they will be getting their full benefits or if they will be piecemealed or be given basically be being rationed out. That being said, millions of federal employees are not being paid at the moment, as well as the government employees who have been furloughed and also are not being paid. Back pay is not guaranteed. So if you are in a position to donate to any food pantries, donate your time, donate your resources, it is greatly appreciated. Now more than ever, we need to be relying on community and one another. At the 11th hour, a federal judge ruled the Trump administration must continue to fund SNAP benefits in light of the government shutdown for the month of November.
Hope I'm not too late, though. Let that man come over your house with them $40. Huh? Girl, don't let that man come over there tonight at 9 o'clock after them kids go to bed for $40. Okay? Listen, some judges just ruled and said that contingencies will be used for the SNAP benefits, okay? That means y'all gonna get y'all shit tomorrow, okay? At 12 o'clock tonight, you could be in Walmart with that muumuu you was about to lift up tonight and that goddamn shower cap, girl. Don't give him now. Don't let that baby daddy that ain't shit in tonight. Tell that nigga kick rocks till goddamn December. Sidebar, to the ones that let the damn man in during school hours today when your kids wasn't there, I'm sorry, you've been bamboozled. The news came out late, girl. It's alright, you probably needed to get off one your damn self. You were stressed. I digress. Judges just ruled that they're going to use contingency aids to basically help with the SNAP benefits until they get everything filled out with the government. Now, we all knew that Trump and everybody in the goddamn, both parties, honestly, was using SNAP benefits and people feeding their kids as a way to kind of get people to push forward the agendas to try to make them side with one another in the votes and all of that. We're not getting all of that, okay? Listen. From what we heard, SNAP benefits will be applied to that card. I hope you ain't ripping into a million pieces because you was mad, girl. Because you better go get you some electrical tape and pray to God you can match the numbers to where they was at. I hope you got a picture of it. SNAP benefits will be applied tomorrow. Thank God. I'm glad that y'all can feed y'all babies. I'm just here to update y'all with the news. I'm just a man.
Food stamps back, baby. Oh, y'all thought we was gonna starve? That's right. Line up. Stock them fucking carts all the way to the T like y'all always do every fucking month. Don't forget to save some for us, goddammit. Y'all know how we do. Keep them bitches in rotation in the hood. Federal judge made Trump pay billions of dollars trying to starve America. Cuz SNAP is back, nigga. Nigga try to destroy the fucking economy, man. Try to starve the old people. That shit ain't happening, man. Federal judge had to bang that gavel. Meanwhile, the White House look like a fucking trap house. This nigga Trump done fucking fired the people that are supposed to help build his king's shrine. Now that his administration gotta pay up them dollars, the White House ain't never gonna get fixed. This ghetto ass fucking president about to have the White House looking like a trap house nigga for the rest of our fucking lives. Man, this nigga literally got a president that's out here getting sued by the United States and he's still the motherfucking president. I don't know what's going on, man. 34-time felon tried to starve America, man, and a judge had to force him to feed us. We still cooked.
I'm just thinking about this whole food stamp situation we have going on. I remember when I was a kid, like a younger kid, my dad was in the military and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. And you bought your stuff, your food stamp stuff. I feel like it would save so much money because it would cut down on the fraud. When you went to check out, you'd have to show your ID and it'd have to match your I guess, some type of EBT card system that they would have. I even feel like if in the rural areas where maybe they couldn't make these grocery stores as accessible, that almost like a delivery service added to this might even be an idea. But I feel like in the long run, this would save so much money by cutting out so much fraud. I don't know, just things I'm thinking about today.
Big news for SNAP recipients. 2 federal judges have just ruled that the Trump administration was violating the law and that they must fund SNAP benefits during this government shutdown. We're 31 days in. In fact, let me tell you, one judge actually ruled that the Trump administration has until Monday to figure out a plan and restore funding. A judge in Rhode Island, though, filed a temporary restraining order, which means that the Trump administration has to restore funding immediately. Now, this is a big win, not just for Washington families, but across the country. Here in Washington, we're talking about nearly 1 million families, 300,000 children who rely on SNAP benefits. And even though this is a big win, well, it could certainly still take some time for those benefits to be dispersed again.
If the administration complies with the order, which they haven't said they're going to do yet, but assuming they comply with the judge's very clear ruling in Rhode Island, they should turn on that money immediately. Now, administratively, it may take some time for that money to be distributed. And in our case, the earliest that we'll start to see that if they turn it on in full would be later next week.
This is some really huge news. A federal judge has ordered the government to pay food stamp benefits during the government shutdown. Unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware that 42 million Americans are going to lose their SNAP benefits starting tomorrow, November 1st. Now, we're in this situation because we're currently 31 days into the second longest government shutdown we've ever experienced. And so that means that we're running out of allocated money for some of these different services, including SNAP. However, there were 2 different rulings this afternoon that have found that the government is acting unlawfully by not tapping into emergency reserves that are there for just this purpose. However, there are still question marks here because it's unclear how long it's going to take for these funds to actually be released to people. It's very unlikely that they're going to get them tomorrow. And it's also unclear how much they're going to get. Are they going to get their full benefit or only a portion? So I would say if you've been looking for ways to help, this is not the time to scale that back. This is still a really good time for you to donate to local food banks. Some of the items that are most in demand are shelf-stable proteins, fruits and veggies, healthy snacks like granola bars or nuts, whole grains like brown rice or pasta, some of the pantry staples that people will need to turn those different ingredients into meals like oils and spices, various sauces and syrups. And in addition to food, people will also benefit from different baby supplies like diapers or formula. And of course, the thing that will always give people the most freedom and flexibility is cash, because then they can decide where to allocate that towards their greatest needs. There was also someone in a community group I'm in who actually said, hey, on Saturday, I'm going to have a bunch of pans of lasagna. Just let me know if you want one and I'll have one ready for you at 6 o'clock. So a bunch of people signed up. So that might be something that you can replicate, and that might inspire other people in your area to also do the same.
The fact that a federal judge had to make the government do their job, the Trump administration do their job, the Democrats, the liberals, the Republicans do their job, is beyond me. You mean to tell me y'all was literally going to let 42 million Americans go hungry for the month of November because y'all can't get something right? Y'all can't agree on something. We know the Democrats do not want to agree to anything because of the high cost in healthcare. And I just feel like healthcare is a scam because you're paying all of this money, but you never going to the doctor. And half the time they don't approve of half of the stuff, the claims be denied. If you got if something happens and you get sick, guess what? They're going to take you through the ringer. That's just my opinion. And I work in healthcare. Like, this is how I know. I work in the claims department because I know, oh, this is not approved. It's always a loophole. So it's like literally the huge corporations are getting bigger while the American people are literally starving because of your healthcare cost right now, like maybe $1,100 a month to pay for healthcare for you and your family. It would triple. It would go to like $3,500, $4,500 for a family. And that is ridiculous. So that's why the Democrats are holding out. But they still should have come to some type of agreement to feed the American people. It don't matter who it is. Like I said, if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, everybody was going to suffer. Y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. But yeah, the federal judge had to say, this has to stop. Like, it's crazy. Hopefully those funds will be released to the people who need them, because at this time of the year, at this time of the hour, why are we having to go through such measures? In 11 months, this whole democracy in America has been torn to shits. But that's just my opinion. Y'all know what to do. Let's go.
It may be Halloween, but we got some breaking news coming out of 2 separate Obama-appointed judges, one in Rhode Island, Judge McConnell, one in Boston, Judge Talwani. And they have both, in their own way, they're trying to force the Trump administration to make SNAP food stamp payments and use a $6 billion contingency fund in order to avoid 44 million Americans suffering from hunger and malnutrition by Monday. 2 separate cases, one brought in Rhode Island in front of Judge McConnell, brought by by cities and public interest groups, one brought by 22 states in Massachusetts in front of Judge Talwani. Two different orders which basically get to the same place, forcing the Trump administration to use $6 billion at least of contingency funds that Congress had allocated during the shutdown to pay for SNAP payments to avoid this major irreparable harm to people who are suffering. There's about $6 billion in contingency funding that's available. But of course, Donald Trump is playing politics with people's lives. He effectively ordered his Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, which is the regulator over these funds, not to pay, despite Congress saying they should pay during a shutdown, despite the fact that in 2019, as Judge McConnell observed during his hearing today that just concluded moments ago, the contingency funds, the rainy day funds were used in 2019 to avoid harm to children and babies and disabled and elderly. So why can't it be done now? So that's what's at stake. Plus additional funding to make up for the shortfall. There may only be $6 billion of the $8 billion necessary for November payments, but there are other funds. They're called Section 32 funds. You get them from customs receipts, money that comes into the government. It's sort of like the government's slush fund that comes in every day. It's the blue states effectively that brought the case and the blue cities, but it's the red states that are suffering and their attorneys general just sitting on the sideline. There's no red state that brought a case. Think about that. There's not one red state attorney general that brought a case to help their people prevent starvation and suffering. None.
I seriously, lovelies, the internet is reacting to the fact that the government was like, okay, the Supreme Court was like, okay, we are not going to seize these people's, SNAP benefit. I don't understand why so many people I see a lot of people complaining, talking about how this, SNAP benefit need to be cut. So many people are like, oh, I don't want my tax to actually feed the poor, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. So many people literally want it to be off. People really want to see the poor people starve. Even though maybe these people, whenever in a situation that they are, maybe they find themselves in that situation at that time. Like, the thing is that I have no discussion in the fact that there are so many people who actually have, let's say, scam the system using the SNAP benefit. I see a couple, couple who were actually scamming over 30K. They were scamming, the government trying to manipulate, the SNAP benefit. I won't dispute that fact, but that doesn't really mean that the real people, the genuine ones who are all depending on this benefit to survive, to stand on their feet a little bit, that doesn't mean that they don't need it. That doesn't mean that because of maybe you feel you have the privilege to survive and all of that, food, which is supposed to be a basic or a necessity, should be a privilege. Like, there are so many people whom I see that actually want food should be a privilege, and they are doing that thinking that Black people are the real beneficiary, that they are the main beneficiary of SNAP. That is why they also want to make food to be a privilege. Let's take, for instance, the other woman who came out, even though the Black couple who were shopping with $30 or $300 or something, even though they were all something that was manipulated using AI, but this Black-colored woman decided to come out to talk about how the people that is receiving SNAP should eat a specific kind of food. They shouldn't be allowed to eat a specific kind of food. What she feel that they should be eating maybe sand. They should buy something that is not even like something that they don't want, or because they're on SNAP benefit. Like, she even goes as far as to give a specific kind of product or kind of food that people on SNAP should use their benefit to purchase. With that being said, if you're on SNAP benefit, you don't have the privilege to eat nothing. Maybe you should just go buy and eat sand, or they should have a kind of food, a leftover kind of food, which is meant for SNAP beneficiary, right? She was saying this using black couple as an illustration, as an example. Like, seriously. Even though the said video she was using was AI generated by their own, just to paint black people as the higher recipients of SNAP benefits. Like that, some people have reduced to that extent of trying to paint other people black just to prove a point, because research and what have you have shown that the high percentage of people who actually receive this benefit are white people. Now so many people are all out trying to use every means possible to change that narrative, just to make black people to look like, oh, you guys are the ones, since you guys are lazy, you can work, you can do anything, so you guys are the ones receiving all of the SNAP benefits, right? Like, seriously. Some people can be so mean, love this. Like, this present administration is exposing a whole lot. It is exposing a whole lot. You know? And now I just hope that the Supreme Court and the government and Orange Man, they'll just, they could, stop them from cutting off this SNAP so that the poor people can actually feed, especially in this festive period, especially in this holiday. Anyway, lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, if you don't subscribe to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. Share, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.